Hello everybody and welcome again. Today we're going to talk about this Japanese maple. You might remember this tree from a repotting video, and I'm gonna show you today what needs to be done. First of all, you might remember that one of the goals this year was to thicken these two trunks because they were in the front and they're supposed to be the biggest ones. So in order to do that, I let grow out a few branches freely without trimming anything back. On this tree and on this tree too, you see the top is quite big already, and it should help thicken the trunks. I've been cutting the other trunks back, especially this one, who is the thickest, and that's what I have to do every week now. Just cut back every leaf. It's already a refinement process, but in this case it's really cutting back so that I don't have to see these trunks thicken more than the others. Another thing that I must consider is that the front of the tree is exposed to full sun. I want really these two trunks to grow a lot. So it's dangerous for the other side of the tree. So in order to get more light in the tree here, I'm going to cut a few leaves away. Not two leaves. You see, maples, they grow leaves in pairs. I'm only going to remove one of the two. It will allow more light to get into the trees. Especially on top, it is important to do that. This huge branch is coming from the smallest tree. It's doing really well, and I'm going to do absolutely nothing here. This is from the big tree. Well, I guess you have the point now. Because I trimmed a lot of these new growth, I already have some back budding here, so it's a good idea to cut away the old growth. This will do good on the refinement of this this part of the tree. So let's continue this. So as you can see, the back side of this tree is now very thin, and the front size, this size, is very full. Now what is the purpose of this? Well, the tree is now thinking, hey, this part is alive, it's okay, let's keep it alive, but this part, these two trunks, are doing us are doing very well for us. So let's get all our energy in the new growth here and push this towards the light, so these will thicken. Maybe get the ugly leaves out. Probably I'm going to find some double leaves while I'm unwiring the tree, which is something I should do quite soon, I think, because this tree has been scarred a lot, and that's the next thing I want to talk about. This tree has quite some bad scarring tissue, and here you can see the same. And it is not easy to get rid of that, but there is a solution. Because the scar always has the shape of the wire you've been using, let's just make a scar in the other direction. So Every year, if you have big scarring tissue, you get the scar tissue away, a little part, and next year another part. The tree will callus again in another direction, and so the old scars will become invisible. Let's do the same here. You see the mark of the wire. So, going to take this part away. Just a sharp knife. See, cambium screen here. And make a scar in another direction. Another thing that should be done right now is to control the wires. I've wired the tree in the autumn, and I see that some are cutting back, cutting into the wood. Well, it's not the wire that cut in the wood, it's the wood that cut into the wire. So to do that, I once broke a scissor, and then I kind of cut the point off, and I'm using this to remove fine wires. Sometimes it is possible to reuse wire, but it's very difficult with this tree because it has 5 trunks and a whole lot of branches, and you don't want to put all the new buds on the floor, so it's best to cut off the wire piece by piece. Oops, I missed a pair of leaves here. Oh, let's do that. So just controlling every wire and removing it if it is necessary. One of the things I really have to remove is this wire on this thick branch. It had to be bent using raffia. Japanese maples are not really very easy to bend, and branches like this will very easily crack. So first of all, I'm going to try to lift the wire. Yep. And removing the wire piece by piece. I have to be extremely careful here because this is quite an important branch. Don't want to do any damage to it. Okay. And now removing the raffia, just cut it off with scissors and unwind it before it starts to constrict the branch and kill it. If you apply raffia correctly, it is quite easy to get it off later. So it's already done now. You see, this is not a big branch, but it is very difficult to bend this without breaking it, so it's better to use raffia on Japanese maples. So this was the update on this Japanese maple. I hope you enjoyed watching, and thank you. See you next time.